a video of me having a faff around with something, as always. We'll see if this is going to be a short video, but I've rarely made one of those either. So I saw someone doing something in a video which I wanted to have a go at. They were baking bread into loaf tins, which they held together with some of these clips in the oven. So they formed the bread and proved it in one of the loaf tins and then baked it in the oven, and I suppose in like a makeshift cast iron pot Dutch oven type of thing. So I kind of thought, that's kind of quite interesting. We'll have a go at that, because I'm always kind of, if I bake bread, I've got one cast iron pot, and the oven really only holds one cast iron pot, so I'm only doing one loaf at a time, and as they take 25 minutes, 30 minutes to bake, and the oven takes 20 minutes to heat up to full temperature and heat the pot up to full temperature, I'm kind of faffing around for cooking bread for 2 hours, which is fine if I'm in, but if I'm in a rush, I just kind of thought, I might just be able to do something a little bit different. So how am I going to tackle this? We need to create tension in the dough. That's why I'm doing that. And then we don't want to lose the tension in the dough. So we need that tension to be on the outside here. And if I normally proving basket, normally put the dough into the proving basket like that, and then we've got I'll show you, then we've got that bit, that rough bit underneath, which goes into the proving basket. So that's top side up, so that's down in that, this is top side down into the proving basket, and then tip proving basket into the cast iron pot, so that's then up on the top. We slice that, and then we get that lovely split open. Now, as we're going to be proving and then baking this loaf in a loaf tin, we need to create tension, but we need the top to be on the top. So how am I going to do this? I suppose just drop it in like that, and then hopefully it will prove, because there's less, well, maybe it won't. No, it's the same there, isn't it? Yeah, it proves into that shape. So it should prove into that shape. In there, it should, because there's walls on the other side there, like there is in walls on the other side there, and there's more room at the end and there, it should prove out a little bit. Then what we'll do is, once it's doubled in size, I'm going to prove it in the fridge for like 24 hours, something like that, so it properly develops that sourdough flavour. And then once it's proved, what we do is we put it in the oven. So we put another loaf tin on top, and then we take these clips and we clamp it shut like that, and then we bake it in the oven, and then we see what happens. So if we do it, it's a cheaper way of doing it, so I don't need to buy another cast iron pot, even though you can kind of pick them up in the cheaper supermarkets like Lidl and Aldi. Normally have special offers on cast iron pots, and places like IKEA sell them as well, which are not badly priced compared to something along the lines of buying like Le Creuset, which are a fortune. But if we could use something like this, that's a lot cheaper, isn't it? We don't have the benefit of it retaining the heat like a cast iron pot, but similar type of result. And we could fit 4 of those in my oven. Looking at my oven there, you wouldn't want to overcrowd it too much, because it'd take a long time for the oven to kind of get back up to temperature. But as a way of baking more bread, and also, well, yeah, so it might take a little bit longer to bake in the oven. So instead of 25 minutes, it might take 35 minutes. But 35 minutes, the oven being on for, I don't know, like 45 minutes as opposed to 2 hours. That's a lot less cost, isn't it, in fuel? So that's kind of like my thought as well. And also, proving baskets aren't cheap, and those are, what, 2 or 3 quid a piece. So you've cut the cost right down. So a little bit of flour on top in case the the shower cap wants to. Actually, we'll just put that far on the outside. Maybe we should have dusted it before we started. But anyway, not to worry. And then shower cap, because we're always trying to look back on cutting down on plastic waste, and you can buy 4 shower caps for £1, but single-use plastic, it costs you every time you use it and you throw it away, whereas these, I've had them for about 3 years now. So anyway, so prove it for 24 hours and then we'll bake it in the oven and we'll see what happens. This goes. Oh no, blades come out of my thingamajig. So slice on top. So I think I need a new blade in this. So hopefully we'll get that nice split. I have found that if you're not getting the nice split in your bread, what you need to do is to put less water in your dough. Took me a while to work that one out. So lid on that, clips around the side. We are recording, yes, we're recording. That's fine. I'm not going to spray any water in because there is enough moisture in the bread to get a crispy crust. Bit of a faff this. So, and then into the oven. I don't need to use the cloth, so no. So into the oven. 25 minutes. 25 minutes. We'll see how it is after 25. Let's have a look at this bread. Certainly had 25 minutes. It certainly smells ready, or is that the bread that I've already cooked? I don't know. It's not worth turning off the oven just yet because it might not be ready. So clips are going to be hot. How does that? Ooh, look at that! That works, doesn't it? That works. And it even comes out of the loaf tin. There we go. That works. So that works. That works. So we'll let it cool, or we'll turn the oven off because we don't want to waste power, do we? We'll let it cool, and then we'll cut into that and see what it's like. Let's cut into this loaf. If we want it's nice and light. For a comparison, these are my ones that I've done in the proving baskets. It's got that nice split, and that's because I've lowered the amount of water in the dough. So now you're not going to make even sandwiches out of that, but looks nice, doesn't it? Looks nice. So we'll whack it straight in half. See, it's got that nice, not just, it is crusty, not just quite as crusty as that, and that's because there'll be a better seal on my cast iron pot than there is in those loaf tins. But still, nice split, crusty. Nice looking loaf, that. Nice looking loaf. How's it smell? That's nice, is that? I'm rather impressed. So if I wanted to make loaves, like cook 4 at once, I could fit 4 in my oven. Rather than having to do 1 at once and it take 2 hours, I could do it in, well, putting 4 loaves in the oven would really lower kind of the temperature of the oven. It'd take a longer time to kind of cook, so it wouldn't be 25 minutes like it was with that loaf. It'd be more like, maybe more like 35, maybe 40 minutes to kind of cook, because we're cooking a larger volume in a small amount of space. But anyway, that works, and it's interesting, so therefore a success.